Good afternoon. We're back again. It's Monday. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day outside. And we're back with a local business today. Um, Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. Interesting. They've adapted to the current situation we're in with some Zoom um, fitness lessons. So, but I'm gonna actually just throw it right now out to George Adamia. He is the owner of Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. Hey, George, how are you?
Great, man. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. I'm actually here at my studio here in Jupiter, Florida. And I come here to do, like you mentioned, those Zoom classes and different videos and things. I've definitely been going online more and putting up a lot more online content for my current members, but also just for the general public. When I keep everybody healthy and feeling good through this kind of weird time.
Well, first of all, where are you located? Just so people know where your business is located.
Yeah, 185 East Indian Town Road. We're right before the bridge here, right before Harborside in the Duffy's Shopping Center. It's the Sea Grape Plaza. And there's a pause for help right next to us. Duffy's right across the parking lot from me. And so, yeah.
So for people that have never heard of Marshall Fitness Palm Beach, let's just tell them a little bit about what you guys are and what you guys do and what you guys offer there.
Sure. Yeah, I've been in the Palm Beach County area going on 10 years now, and I've been the manager and head coach at several different James Martial Arts academies and fitness-based training centers. And now, actually in February, we opened our first Martial Fitness location here in Jupiter, although we had been in operation in the county for quite some time. The definition for the word martial is of and or appropriate to war, warlike. So I like to say that Martial Fitness prepares you for anything the world might throw at you. We have the group fitness programs that we have different tiers that you work through, starting level 1 basic fitness movements, integrating some of the most important martial arts movements. And then through Jupiter Muay Thai, we have all the specific martial arts training that you could really specialize in. And we have Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu that's available as well. And usually we have that in-house. We have small to large group classes, one-on-one private sessions that we do. But because of everything that's been happening, we've been providing more content and material online. We're on Zoom, we're on YouTube. We're constantly posting stuff on social media. We just, martial arts made such a big difference in my life, and a lot of the practitioners that participate know what it really does. And so that was my ultimate goal with starting Martial Fitness. It was really to unleash that inner warrior that I believe everyone has inside of them, and it's really just such a great stress reliever. And who else but a martial artist warrior has better control of their body and has that body awareness that we all want that translates to just functional training.
I got to unmute myself. I just spoke with you earlier. I said, my kids, they've done, they do Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and they love it. And it's hard right now. They're away from it, but they miss it. How successful or not successful, I guess, how interesting is it with this Zoom invites for this? I mean, it's still getting people in the motions and going through the motions, right, of martial arts and being able to do it still.
Yeah, it's definitely better than nothing. It gives people an opportunity to have exposure to curriculum. I have different things that I cover every month or so. So this gives my students an opportunity to kind of stay consistent with what we're talking about to keep that practice. Some of my clients actually have bags and different training equipment at home. And so some classes are geared towards that. And other clients that don't have anything, you don't really need any equipment, don't need anything. I have my YouTube channel. There's a bunch of different workouts, whether it's body weight, some of our bag work utilization, other things. I have like a heavy object routine that you could grab a milk jug or something like that. So really, martial arts just made such a huge impact in my life. I've been training and competing in martial arts since I was a kid, and it really made me the person that I am. So my concept with Martial Fitness was really just to introduce martial arts to your average person, that person that maybe goes to your regular, gym to lift weights, that never really thought maybe that they could do martial arts or participate in something like this. But it's for everybody, especially the programs that I have. I have different, fundamental classes where if you're the fitness, for instance, you're not fighting anybody in the fitness class. You're just, going through a fitness routine. It's high intensity interval training mixed with some cardio bag work, on the bag. And so you yourself have an idea of what that training is like. It's so very metabolic, you're burning a lot of calories hitting the bag. And in addition,
toughest workout.
Yeah.
I mean, shredding calories. It's unreal. You never think, but the amount of, that's why boxers are in the best shape of their lives. I mean, they're incredible. All those guys.
I love it. I love all combat sports. And I've really been blessed to touch all these different parts of the industry. I've been a professional corner. I've competed. I've been a matchmaker for professional organizations. I've traveled the world actually commentating professional MMA. I was in China and actually Macau about 3 months before all this fiasco happened. We were out there doing a show. And so, I love all kinds of combat sports, whether it's wrestling, which I grew up doing, judo, MMA. And we actually opened this location, in February of this year. And we had a great start. February was great. March was great. And then this whole fiasco happened, and I'm just really blessed. I have just so many great clients and students and people that are still supporting us and still training with us online. I actually have a handful of clients that I go to their home and train them, their family at their home, taking all the precautions. I have the masks and everything, stay 6 feet away and all of that stuff. So we've been able to pivot, and we're so blessed for that. And now that things are kind of headed in a better direction with parks being open and kind of the curve kind of being flattened, as they were saying, hoping that we're able to get back to normal action. I've had a lot of students and clients just, they're obviously going through kind of like emotionally a difficult time. And so the training really helps them with that, releasing that stress. Nothing like hitting a bag or going through, a martial arts sequence or martial fitness routine to really exert that extra stress that we might have during this time,
For those just joining us on Facebook Live, we're here with George Adamia, owner of Martial Fitness Palm Beach. George, if people are watching now and they want some more information, they maybe want to think about signing up or getting more information about you, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure. You can visit our website, martialfitnesspalmbeach.com or jupitermuaythai.com. And, we have something for everybody. We have the fitness classes, where you're working through a structured program, starting with more fundamental static movements, building up the strength, the balance, the coordination, and working yourself into doing things maybe for level 2, which are more dynamic movements. For instance, a jump squat or something like that. These are things that we have to work up to, and then we have separately the martial arts programs for somebody that really wants to focus on the self-defense and wants to specialize, let's say, in Muay Thai kickboxing or jiu-jitsu. These are some of the most effective and prominent martial arts that are utilized in military, and also, if you watch MMA, UFC, that kind of stuff, those are big proponents of those martial arts as well too. So I love it, man. I love what I do, and I'm so blessed to be in a position to help people on a daily basis, impact lives, and in that it feeds my soul. It keeps me going. So I've been trying to really stay positive, and I have been staying positive through this whole time. But we all have kind of like that wave where we're not sure what's going to happen, but thank goodness now we're headed in a positive direction. A lot of the data, says that we're headed in a positive direction. So we also have our, all the social media, the Instagram. We're on there. We have our YouTube channel. All the links are on our website.
What's the YouTube channel for people if they want to check that out?
Yeah, Martial Fitness, and the link is actually on our. As soon as you go to our website, there's a link video right at the main landing page. And so it's just you have to pivot in situations like this. In martial arts, we say be like water, right? And so there's a lot of philosophy that goes into training martial arts and being a martial artist and having that kind of like the warrior spirit. And I think a lot of us were tested during this time and still are, being tested. And so, my business was born in Palm Beach County. It was really inspired, like this logo with the Jupiter Muay Thai, that's the martial arts side of things. And this logo was inspired by the ocean and by the beach and by Jupiter, so it's something that I absolutely love this place, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep fighting tooth and nail. And fortunately, things are headed in a better direction. And if anything, now I'm able to touch even more people's lives through all the online content that I'm doing, because I have clients that visit me and then they go back to Australia, or they come here to visit Jupiter, vacation in Jupiter, and they go back to England or New Zealand or all over the world. I've met people from all over just by doing what I do here.
Isn't it amazing? I mean, again, you said find ways to adapt, find ways to stay positive. Positivity is the huge one, and finding ways to adapt. This isn't going to go away, even if the magic cure is found tomorrow and we're all fine. This is another way to market to, like you said, clients that may be here and then they go back to Australia, but they can still take part in a class virtually, which is kind of cool, and it's another way to grow your business. Again, another guy right here, George, local guy in our community. He's here. He lives here. He spends his money here. We need to support local businesses such as George's. So if you haven't, been to Martial Fitness Palm Beach or have known George before this interview, check it out. Check out his website. give them a call. What's the phone number people can call there if they want to get in touch with you?
Yeah, it's 561-800-3700.
Easy.
So pretty easy one, 800-3700, pretty easy to remember. And, I currently for online, I got a free week for anybody online. They can come check out the program. Then, then I have a super unlimited packages for online training where you could just pay a flat monthly fee and getting, 3 times a week, you're getting an online live class. And I have all different kinds of specials going on when we do finally open. My studio is actually more of a boutique operation. The class sizes are about 8 to 12 people, where I'm really able to focus on everybody and make sure everyone's doing the right thing. And, we have the television screens up with the workouts and the combinations and the routines and everything like that. And so after all of this has happened, I'm looking to even make the classes even smaller. Obviously, as we open the doors, we're going to continue to kind of do the whole boutique thing, but take a step even further back and make sure that, there's no more than 8 people in here. And the bags are already 6 feet, apart. And then the way we have everything lined out is people are going to be further apart in ample space and everything like that. And so fortunately for us, we're not too big of a huge facility, and so our overhead is not as high. And so we're still able to, keep on trucking through this time and keep helping all of our wonderful clients and friends. And so many people had said, I don't know what I would do if it wasn't for this type of training. I don't know how I would be mentally if I didn't get to, hit the bag or do a workout or this and that. I really hope that people are active and living that healthy lifestyle. That's my thing that I try to preach to everybody. Living that healthy lifestyle, trying to feed the warrior that's within, and that means challenging yourself, whether you're going for a jog or for a run. But having that consistency, and having that regimen and having a healthy lifestyle, which is what I hope to inspire all of my clients, with.
And you said it right there. For those folks out there watching, if you've never hit a bag before, it's the most ultimate stress reliever in the entire world. And like I said, my kids, do both jiu-jitsu and the Muay Thai, but it's a discipline thing too. It's a good thing to keep them focused and learn discipline, self-discipline, challenging themselves, like you're saying, challenging their inner selves. Any role models out there that you have that kind of, whether that be some UFC fighters or guys you like to follow that have had a good impact on your career, a positive impact that you can mention maybe?
Yeah, it's amazing because I've been a fan of combat sports, since I was a kid, and so I was always fascinated with the martial arts. I was actually born in the Republic of Georgia in Eastern Europe, which is usually part of the Soviet Union. So I was born there, and because of the
Big wrestling there, right? Aren't they really good with
wrestling, judo? It's actually, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the current champion, Habib Nurmagomedov. He's from the other side of the mountains, where Georgia, Republic of Georgia, is south. And he's north of the mountains there, south of Russia. And so that's where I was born, and so combat sports, I'm just so passionate about it. It's been a huge part of my life. So when I think about inspiration, I think of just so many different, amazing athletes through the sports. But the things that stand out to me, obviously, having the accolades, the winnings and having a champion, whatever the belts, but how they acted out in public and how they were able to help their community and kind of reach out and help people in that manner. So I really like Manny Pacquiao, guys like that, not just words, but put into action, did something for the betterment of the world. And so he's one of those guys. Obviously there's amazing athletes out there, like Mike Tyson, wrestlers like Dan Gable. I mean, just legendary dudes that had all these different accolades. But I think a true champion kind of gives back and leaves something for the world. And so, there's fighters out there that are more materialistic and they're all about, getting their winnings and being flashy and this and that. But I think it's just great when athletes go out of their way and they contribute to humanity. And so at the top of my, and I think of Pacquiao, what he did for his people and the contributions, that he does. And I think even more recently, although Conor McGregor had some bad press, I think he gave 1 million, recently to some charity, so when prominent people do stuff like that, give back to, humanity and give back to those that are in need, those are some things that impact me. I've been blessed to just work with some of the, best combat sports teams over the years, whether it be striking, or jiu-jitsu. At one point I was, training at Team No Era, here in West Palm Beach, and was able to go to dinner with, this is years and years back when Anderson Silva was the champion. I was able to go to dinner with Anderson Silva in Las Vegas and some friends here locally. And so that was
Wow.
something that kind of told me like, hey, I'm headed in the right direction. My dreams are kind of coming true. And so, I love it, man. I love martial arts, and I'm inspired in so many ways. Now I'm at a point where I'm inspired by my clients. I have clients that have, diabetes, or that have survived cancer, and or that have been through some really traumatic stuff. So whereas growing up, I was all about, competing and fighting and being the best, although I suffered some injuries and stuff like that. I don't get to compete as much anymore. But my clients are now the ones that really inspire me, because I see some of the things that they overcome, and they're showing up consistently to our training sessions at like 5 or 6 a.m. and just, so your average person sometimes, that kid that, overcomes the bullying at school and stands up to their bully, that picture right there is actually dear to me, because that gentleman there,
Let me step out of the way. Let me get out of the way here.
he had Parkinson's, and it was very degenerative. And he was much older, and he would come in and train with me on the boxing mitts. And his wife basically had said, I have not seen him move like that in 3 years since all of this got as bad as it did. So he would just get so excited, and he would just light up, and those hands got pretty quick. And it really was kind of a mesmerizing thing. And so it wasn't until I was forced to take a break from competition and, sideline me and focus on my clients and focus on bettering other people's lives. It wasn't until that happened that I realized kind of what's really, really important, in life. And I love the medals and the trophies and all that stuff. And I think competition is great. And I do work with some amateur competitors. I work with some professional competitors, and I hope to be doing that even more so with this facility, that I've built up. But I think that the most meaningful thing that I've done is just change that, average regular person's life, for the better. That's kind of what fuels me,
Incredible. I mean, that's awesome. And it very well said. I mean, it's, you see this gentleman here, older man, you said, dealing with Parkinson's. Is that what you said he had? Parkinson's? And I've heard good things about that when it comes to boxing and moving of the hands and all that type of stuff. Just incredible stuff. For those joining us again, I'm here with George Adamia, owner of Martial Fitness Palm Beach, located in Jupiter. In the Duffy's Plaza, you said right before the bridge there, or right after the bridge, before the bridge. Another local businessman in our community. He lives here. He's local. He shops here. Support local. And during this time, we need to support each other. So check out his website, martialfitnesspalmbeach.com. What's the number they can call again if they're interested in more information?
561-800-3700. And once you go on the website, there's opportunities to fill in your information, your name, your email, where I could send you some links and some updates and just keep you posted. I love doing stuff with the community. I've done several women's self-defense seminars for the community. I love doing things with the real estate community, because you guys do the showings, especially the ladies. And so I've done so much different things with the community. I love doing it. And after this stuff blows over, we're definitely going to get something on the timeline. I love doing things like that for the community, and we do anti-bullying campaigns and things like that. And so, things will be a little different, after we're going to be more careful. I think people are just going to be generally more careful about larger group gatherings. I even have a thermometer scanner, infrared scanner now. If I see a client or something, I'm scanning them with the thermometer and temperature, and it's just that little bit of assurance. It gives you that little bit of feeling of safety, I've had a few of my clients that were already tested. I'm working on getting tested. And I've had several of my clients come back negative, for the antibodies and for actually even having it in the first place. And none of my clients so far have actually had it, and mind you, 50% of them right now are just on hiatus and just taking a break, and so some people are training online, taking advantage of that. But it's also been a very difficult time for people. I find myself just following up with clients. For me, it's when you're a member, it's much more than just coming in here working out. It's a lifestyle. So I love to check in on my clients and really have that one-on-one connection with them, and just making sure that they're mentally, that they're all right in this situation, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed. It's so easy to feel, helpless and just really not sure where things are going. So in a lot of ways, training martial arts and with what we do here, it's very much like therapy. It definitely was for me. Coming from actually where I grew up, where I was born, there was a civil war that happened. And so my family moved away because of the civil war, in our country. And we were fortunate to actually, get a visa to the United States and actually moved here, and it absolutely changed my life. I owe everything that I am to, immigrating to the United States and really just living out the American dream, so, and now I'm here, in Jupiter and Palm Beach County, and I don't plan on going anywhere. I love it. I fell in love with this place, and I'm on the water. When I can get out there, I paddleboard, I snorkel, I do all that stuff.
Paradise, man. Why would you?
Life changing.
Yeah, paradise here. You know, you hit the nail on the head when you said, again, you love this place, the community. You're part of this community, and we said we want to support local businesses like your own, and that's why we brought you on today. It's just to highlight the local businesses in our community, like George's. We have a whole slate of new businesses for the rest of the week too, but check out marshallfitnesspalmbeach.com. Give George a call. You could be of any fitness level, right? This doesn't discriminate. If you're a 65-year-old woman or a 70-year-old woman saying, I'm not a fighter, it's not about fighting. It's about relieving stress and putting you in a mental state and exercising. It's not, George isn't going to throw you in the ring against the UFC champion tomorrow. You're not fighting the UFC champion tomorrow, but it's just a way to stay in shape. Am I right, George? Any fitness level, kids to adults.
Yes, I pride myself in having a safe and structured program where your average person with absolutely no experience could come in here, work at their own pace. They're looking at the television, they see, what needs to be done. I'm right there coaching alongside. Sometimes I'm an assistant coach here helping, as well. And you work at your own pace, you do what you can, but you're looking at the time that it took you and how you feel. So you're able to gradually increase, you're able to get better. You're able to potentially finish the whole workout sooner and sooner and sooner. Whereas when you're first starting out, maybe you're not even able to go through the whole routine. Maybe you're able to just go through it once. Maybe you're working around some injuries. Maybe you can't do certain things. That's why I have level 1 movements that are more basic, that are not high impact. They're very low impact, actually, and you you master those, you get comfortable with those, show me that you know those first. And then you'll see there that you have an option to do a level 2 movement, which is more challenging, more of a dynamic movement. So that's really what I pride myself on. And that's why I started Martial Fitness, because so many people aren't willing to try the martial arts, And so I have Martial Fitness where I introduce them to the martial arts, really introduce them to how great it could be. And it's more of a fitness concentration. And then gradually, as they show more interest and more, ability, then they're able to specialize into an actual kickboxing class or like a jiu-jitsu class. Still where they're not necessarily getting to fight, still a fundamental class that they're going through. We have, for instance, in the Muay Thai, we have different armbands that we wear on our arm to show our proficiency, armbands that go on the arm, like Thai style, traditional. And for the Martial Fitness, we have 3 levels that we work through. To complete your level 1 class, it may take you up to 50 to 75 classes, depending on your level of athleticism and your physical ability. So I love having that structure where people have a goal of like, oh, let me get that level 1 certification. Oh, okay, let me go after that level 2. And it kind of gives you an idea of what you can do and how you can grow, and how really these techniques. There's so many ways they get so complex. And you have to work up to certain techniques and certain abilities. That's why I pride myself in having that fundamental intro program where I'm watching you like a hawk. And my number one thing is to keep you injury free, because I've had my fair share of injuries. It's unfortunate. I've had my fair share of injuries, but there's always something to learn. And that's kind of what, with all the stuff that happened, I think it was a very introspective time for all of us to kind of think about our family and our life and our work and everything like that. And that's kind of how it was for me when I suffered an injury, and that's one of my main things, is to keep people healthy, right? That's the goal.
Awesome. And I'll tell you what, like I said, the workout you'll get from hitting a bag, you'll never, you'll be sweating. Let me just say that much. It's a hell of a workout. And we're surrounded too, George. This is, like I always say, it seems like MMA Central down here in South Florida. There's a lot of professional athletes, professional MMA fighters that train down here in South Florida. They're crazy. I go back to my days as a kid watching the UFC. Dan Severn was the guy that I grew up liking, and I like Conor McGregor. He's got a bad rap, I know. He's a little bit of a showboat. My wife likes George St. Pierre.
Oh, he's great. That's one that I forgot about. He's great. He's awesome. Actually, my friend Burt Watson just had an interview with him. Bert used to work for the UFC, and just if you check that out on his page, he had an interview with the GSP just I think Saturday, this last Saturday.
Yeah. And so again, for anybody that just signing on now or checking out, George Adamia, owner of Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. You can go to marshallfitnesspalmbeach.com. You're offering a trial class, did you say, George? If people
so I have a free week. I have a free week for everybody online. The classes are 3 times a week live on Zoom. In addition to that, I have a lot of free content on my YouTube channel. There's bag work videos, there's technique videos, there's body weight routines. And so really my main thing is to just spread, health and activity for everybody, and just relieve stress for everyone, and that's what I put these programs out there for. So there's a lot of free content out there, just out there for people to use and enjoy and get a great workout.
Well, I want to thank you again for joining us this afternoon. George Adamia from Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. Again, check out his website, give him a call. What's the number to call again, George? You say it, I can never remember it.
No problem, 561-800-3700. Thank you so much for having me on. It's always great. I always see you guys in the community. I've actually worked with some of the real estate agents, and I actually used to, at one point, some years ago, I used to train Mr. Jeff's son, Sam.
Sam, okay,
a long time ago. I was his kickboxing instructor. I love the kid. I still see him on the social media. I always say hi, and so I love what you guys are doing there at Eco and Eco Fine. And thank you so much for the spotlight. God bless everybody, and hopefully we can get back to normal here soon.
Soon, yeah. So thank you again, Georgia, and again, another local business guy in our community, lives here, works here, eats here, sleeps here. We need to support local, the fabric of our community. Positivity, George, right? Positivity. We're going to get through this. We'll make it through. Check out Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. I'll tell you what, I haven't been there, but that is a hell of a workout. So if you're looking to drop some of those quarantine pounds, this could be the place to do it. So George,
right now we're going to have a little special coming back after this quarantine. We're going to have a $99 special right now for our Marshall Fitness classes. So $99 a month to get in here and get a little program going for you. So it's a little special that we're going to be having here as soon as all this blows over.
And it will. George, thanks so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, guys.
Look forward to seeing some positive results from people that head to Marshall Fitness Palm Beach. So for everyone watching, in the next half an hour, George, you may want to tune back on. We got some food. We got some taco chula, Cinco de Mayo's tomorrow. So I think they're going to talk about their Cinco de Mayo specials for tomorrow.
Nice.
But thank you so much for joining us, and have a great afternoon.